So let's start with Unit 1 of Chapter 2, Fiscal Functions and Overview. This chapter will help us to understand what exactly the fiscal function is, how exactly government plays an important role with this tool. So let's start with the fiscal functions. Fiscal policy, the meaning, it is the tool used by the government for controlling the inflation or deflation. In both the cases, you can use this. For proper income distribution, for economic growth and development. So in short, the fiscal policy are the tools or the steps used which gives all the rights in the hands of government which can be used at the time of inflation as well as deflation. Of course, we are going to analyze it in depth. It includes the use of government spending. Government makes an expenditure of certain commodities like roads, dams, such kind of things are constructed by the government called as infrastructure facilities. And there are so many other spendings also. Of course, we are going to discuss in detail. It includes the use of taxation policy like charging higher taxes on the luxurious goods while not charging the taxes on the necessary goods like that. Government borrowings, government gives the amount to public or government borrows the amount from public in the form of government bonds. Let's take an example. If there is an inflationary situation, that means the demand for a product is increasing at a higher rate as the money supply is available in the hands of public, government issues the bonds. It means government takes the loan from public, the whole money flows to government. So even though I am having the bonds, I don't have liquid cash, automatically demand comes down and the price also. So such kind of tools are used by government. What is government borrowings? Sometimes government needs to make investment in the country, then government borrows the amount and invests the amount so that the employment generation is done and the demand can be increased. So such kind of steps can be taken in government borrowings. Now the question comes, why government intervention? Why not to go for 100% capital? That means 100% private sector will take care of the market. Why is it required? Let's see the reasons. Private sector ignores the social needs. Of course, why should private sector take care of it? As you know the definition of Robbins, it is only the profit which works and not the social needs. The private sector needs government in case of failure. Whenever it fails, automatically the government is purposely taking care of it and the private sector goes to government and demands for some help. So that is why in case of failure, ultimately government has to interfere. The private sector can't assure the long-term stability. In case of private sectors, if it is not giving the profit, immediately the product will be scrapped or the service will be discarded. But government can't do it for so many years. Maybe the railways are in losses, still the government is running it. So from private sector, you cannot get the stability in the market. The private sector can't assure a long-term stability that we have seen. Now what government can do? Government can aim at the social benefit. Whatever steps government is going to take, that will be for the benefit of society. Government can make the best use of resources. Even though it is a loss-making product, still government will invest in that because it is needed by the public. So that will be the best utilization of resources. So due to all these reasons, government intervention becomes an important thing. You cannot rely on private sector 100%. That's why government comes into the picture. So, now it is agreed that government is going to play an important role. So, government intervention matters a lot. Let's see how exactly government plays an important role. We can divide the functions of government in three parts. First, allocation function. Second, redistribution and stabilization. Let's go in detail. Function first, allocation of resources. It includes the efforts to make the production of best possible quantum of goods and services. Here government tries to make the best utilization of resources. That means even though the product is not in profit, government will give the raw material for it because it is required. So in that case, the best possible use of resources is possible. Otherwise, in case of private sector, even though they are having the resources, they may not use it because the product is not giving the profit. So it makes the best use of resources. The private sector produces goods on the basis of demand and profit only and not for the social benefit. The private sector fails or avoids to produce the necessary goods because again profitability is not there. Thus, the government aims at achieving the best utilization of resources by using it for the best of the society. Private sector can't make the best use of resources because why the private sector will not make the use of resources? Of course, it is working for profit, then it must make the use of resources. I have resources, I must go for it. But no, there can't be the perfect competition. Monopoly still exists in the market. We assume that there is a perfect competition, but it's a dream situation. Whenever there is a monopoly due to any reason, then the monopolist or a group of monopolists decides which product is to be produced, which is to be discarded. So the resources cannot be used to the extent of 100%. It focuses on high profit goods, so avoid producing the common use goods that we have already discussed. Some externalities don't allow to produce more, like pollution. What is externality? We are going to discuss in detail. Externality is an effect of the act of a person on the other unrelated person. For example, the companies manufacturing steel or chemicals ultimately results in some wastage, even they intend or not, but they are creating the pollution, water pollution as well as air pollution also. That's why it is called as externality. So even though I have resources, still I cannot use it because there are some limitations due to externalities like pollution. So that can be a problem with private sector. Immobility of factors of production makes lesser utilization of them. For private sector, for small firms, many times mobility is not available, which can be made possible by government. So again, the resources are unutilized or underutilized. Inequalities in distribution of income and wealth demotivates the producers. Many times it happens that the big producers or big business houses earns a huge amount, but the small scale industry or a medium scale industry cannot earn that much profit. So it demotivates them, then the production comes down and the resources are not properly utilized. So these are the reasons why the private sector fails to make the best utilization of resources. So obviously the responsibility goes to government to make the best use of resources. So according to Musgrave, the government plays an important role in the best utilization of resources to achieve the social benefit. So it is the duty of government and not of a private sector. Now the question comes, how can the government play an important role in allocation of resources? Production of economic goods which private sector can't produce, like dams, roads, these are the things which private sector is not allowed and don't afford to use or produce. So that's why here the government plays an important role. Incentives or tax benefit to private sector. In some cases, the private sector is involved in production. Government is not interested or government may not focus on that, but the government gives incentives and tax benefits so that private sector gets the boost to produce such kind of goods. Steps to promote the competition like Competition Act. What government does? It helps to create a competition. When the competition is there, everyone gets an equal opportunity to gain the profit and thus the resources will be utilized in a proper way. So government indirectly helps the market by creating such acts like Competition Act, which avoids the monopoly and boosts the competition. Directives like licensing, minimum wages, etc. Such kind of things are done by government, giving the licenses to a particular sector. Let's say some area is specifically kept reserved for the small scale industry or medium scale. So it boosts them to produce more and make the best utilization of resources. Own production of some goods. Sometimes some areas the private sector is not interested, then government will take the case in their hand and they will produce these goods. Generally such kind of things are not there in India, but if required, government will interfere and produce such kind of goods. So this was all about the allocation of resources and role of government in making the best use of available resources. Still in India, there are so many resources which are not perfectly utilized. Let's hope that government and private sector will go hand in hand to make the best use of it. Now going towards the second function, redistribution function. This is the second role government can play from the fiscal policy. It includes the steps by government for proper distribution of goods. Also solving the question like exactly what to produce and for whom to produce. These are called as economic questions, as we know. What to produce, for whom to produce, when to produce, in which market it should be made available. So government takes the step so that the raw material or all the goods will be available to all the producers as well as consumers at the end. That is redistribution function. Redistribution of income, so the consumption shall be proper. So what government does? Charges higher taxes on higher income group and no taxes on a very low income group, so that the taxes can be utilized for them, the income of them can be increased, and ultimately the income parity, that means distribution of income, will be proper, so consumption shall be there. Well-being of deprived members of society. The facilities are given to them, the schemes are introduced so that they can get the advantage and they can also get the equal opportunities. Equality of income, wealth and opportunities, that we have discussed, that everyone should get an opportunity, like the new schemes introduced by government like Make in India or startup schemes, so that the new generation or the youngsters will also get an opportunity to contribute towards society by starting their own businesses. So that redistribution function is properly done by government in that case. Providing security for those who are suffered or who are getting the hardships. So some facilities are given, maybe some reservations are given to handicaps so that they can get an opportunity to earn income or show their talent. So this is again the redistribution function of government. Ensuring at least minimum standard of living for everyone. So in this case, what government does, maybe they will give the pension schemes of government or unemployment payment shall be done. Minimum wages acts are given so that ultimately government tries to give at least a standard of living, at least a minimum standard of living is ensured for everyone. That is again redistribution function. Now what steps government takes for this redistribution? First, progressive tax system. As we know, direct taxes are progressive in nature. You earn more, you pay more. The amount earned from the taxes or from the higher income group shall be utilized for the benefit of the lower income group. Gradually they will enter in higher income group, they will contribute taxes and shall be utilized for the lower income groups. That is progressive tax system. Reservations in employment, that we have already discussed, that there is a reservation on the basis of caste for those the opportunities were not there, so they will get an opportunity. For handicap, for girls also some reservations can be introduced in employment. Controlling production of necessity and healthcare goods. Some goods are perfectly controlled by government. For example, whenever the medicines are introduced, some part of medicines must be given to government, which will be made available through the civil hospitals at a very low cost. So such kind of controls are kept for the proper distribution of all the resources. Special schemes for employment opportunities, we have seen Jawahar Rozgar Yojana or Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana. Such kind of things are introduced so that the employment opportunities shall be generated and income can be distributed. Ensuring at least minimum standard of living for everyone, that we have already discussed. So in this way, we have seen that the government plays an important role for redistribution of all the resources to producers as well as income for every consumer, so that there will be a proper parity and equal opportunity for everyone. That was the second function of government. Moving towards the third function, that is stabilization function. To stabilize means to make everything at par or to avoid the negative impact of something. The markets are imperfect and faces the business cycles. As we know, every market goes through the business cycles. Sometimes there is a boom or sometimes the overall market comes down. Again, the market looks towards the government to help them. The need of each business cycle is different. Government is always in a position to take such steps. For example, when the businesses are coming down, when there is a recession, government can reduce the taxes so that they will get the boost. And once they are out of it and once the boom is there, then the government may collect higher taxes from them. So such kind of steps are called as stabilization function. The government can take two steps: proper taxation policy, as we discussed just now, control on money supply. As we discussed, the money plays an important role. If there is an inflation in the market, government will get the money in its hand. Maybe the interest rates will be increased or the government bonds will be issued at higher interest rate of investment. And if there is deflation, then the interest rate of loan will be reduced and the money supply will be made in the market. So that is second, control on money supply. Of course, everything we are going to discuss in detail in next 3 chapters. So higher taxes on high demand goods and lower taxes on low demand goods can be charged so that the demand for lower demand goods shall be increased in future if they are available at lower prices. Control on money supply, like monetary policy to control the money supply in the market, as we have discussed just now. To conclude, government plays an important role in economy through fiscal policy in 3 different ways. You cannot say that government should not interfere in the market. When there is a private sector, there must be some controlling authorities. Otherwise, just imagine what will happen if all the resources, all the businesses are in the private hands and there is no government for making the intervention. There will not be any control on prices, and this open market system will affect those who are not able to pay the amount or not able to earn the amount properly. That's why the government intervention is must. That is what we have seen in unit number 1 of chapter 2, fiscal policy and overview. In further chapters, we will discuss how exactly these tools are working, how the market fails, and what exact steps government is expected to take. So let's move towards the next chapter.